Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Let's Play ArcLad 2 with me, EclecticAndrew the Gamer. Today, we're continuing our Fort Ruins, our Fort Sealed Ruins here. The many multitude of forks within this ruin, which last time ran a little long for me. Yeah, that was almost like an hour-long recording, and over an hour-long recording, and I had stuff to do that day. Now it's nighttime of another day. But I'm here for you today to enjoy your day, and I hope you enjoy this video that I am playing here for you all today. Hey, remember how I gave Gauguin the Romancing Stone? Yeah. It gives him the ability to use magic with no use of MP, so I can just use Gauguin's spells at maximum power no matter what. And I really need to take more advantage of that. And teleport there, very handy in getting our people across the screen. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today, is finishing up this forked ruin. The many forked paths within this ruin will be explored today. Finished exploring today. Because as you can see, there's already another stair right there, and there's going to be another stair way over here. And as you can see, over here is the stair we came down last time in our last episode, and went down those two stairs to get all that treasure down there. Yeah. I wonder why I remembered this dungeon so well, because last episode when I saw that there were multiple forked floors to go down, I realized I'd been in this dungeon before for some time. Last time I played, maybe. I'm not sure. You know, I have tried on a couple occasions to do the whole game, but I figure doing this as an LP gives me a good excuse to finally make use of completing this game in a more complete way. And yeah, I did discover a little late in my life, comparatively to whenever I found out about the retro achievements, which does actually have ArcLad 1 and 2 on here, on their retro achievements website. So, but we're just going to continue with my PlayStation copy, and maybe I'll do the retro achievements thing in some 20-odd years some other time on some other YouTube-like channel. Or maybe for my kid or something, and they're trying to complete it, and hopefully retro achievements still around by then. Hopefully we're all still around by then. It should be... I mean, honestly, life will continue on as they say in Jurassic Park, life finds a way. I mean, we are kind of evolved from dinosaurs in the first place. And yeah, dinosaurs, dinosaur era creatures, we are definitely evolved from somewhere within that spectrum of animals, people, doohickeys. And so, I mean, we're all evolved from some kind of virus or bacteria or germ somewhere in the life of our world some time ago, quite some time ago. And I don't know if there's ever been any advanced civilizations here on Earth or anything anywhere like past us, what we are now, and like Atlantis, the stories of Atlantis where it was super advanced and had all kinds of stuff going on with it, or alien civilizations resting here on Earth for the time being, you know, making all those gods that we supposedly know of and before the flood happened and took them all out supposedly. I don't know. Just all kinds of things that we don't know, because that's life in general. You don't get to know much about life in general. I mean, I could say billions of things on YouTube, and no one ever would ever know about it. And that's just kind of how life is. That the world will never know. Not en masse, not everything. Not every little single thing has to be known, of course, in life, but not every little thing can be known in life. We are not omniscient. Because omniscient is where you know everything, and then omnipresent is where you are all present. Because you can see in the beginning of the opening title screen for Link to the Past, where they say that Triforce has powers omniscient and omnipresent. I had to look up that word omnipresent because I knew omniscient was, you know, because God is all-knowing, all-seeing, all-knowing, kind of like Santa. But, yeah, I looked up omnipresent when I did my LP for it years ago. You know, I may private those videos and just kind of come back with a new LP of Legend of Zelda. Because honestly, I do have the Nintendo Switch Online right now, so I could make use of that to do another LP of Link to the Past. And I've been thinking about it. Because it was my first LP many years ago. And I did not know much about LPing at all. I still don't know much about anything, but hey, another healing point, yay! Yeah, I could say I've grown quite a bit. Not a whole lot, but a bit. A bit is more than nothing. I mean, that is why when we used to cut money into eighths, we would call them bits. Bits and bobs. Bob's your uncle? Yes, you pay him with bits. Bob's Burgers? I don't know. An eighth of a Bob's Burger would be quite the handy little trading item, I would think. You know, there's that song. You know, the tapping song where you can go shave and haircut. I think when Roger Rabbit jumps out of the wall in the bar in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, I think he's singing in 2 bits. So I think maybe that song is based on that shave and haircut used to be 2 bits. Which I don't know what coinage would be used for the bits, but that seems really cheap to me. 2 eighths for a shave and a haircut of a coin. Yeah, because they used to still cut American coins years ago, and they got really frustrated with that, so you know how all our coins nowadays have those little ridges on the edges of them? You know, the ridge where you can scratch some pencil onto the side of it and have somebody try to roll it down their face and they get some marks on their face. You know that joke, Friends, where Ben's like, "Bet you can't roll this down the front of your face," and he tries and he gets the pencil mark all over his face. Yeah, those little ridges, those were made onto our coins in America because we didn't want people to be cutting the money into bits anymore. And you know that's actually where we kind of get the quarter from, because you cut a coin into two halves. That's 2 halves of a coin, and then cut 2 halves into one more time. That's 4 quarters. That's how we got the terminology for our quarters and into dollars. I don't know where dimes and nickels come from, but all I know about nickel is, you know, like pumpernickel is supposed to be fart goblin. So I guess nickel is goblin and pump is fart. But nickel as a coin, is it a fart coin? Oh, that just reminded me of Game Grumps, where they're making fun of the fact of how stupid some of the crypto coins can be sound to them. you know, like the bit that Danny does is, or Aaron, I think it's Danny though, is, yeah, I want you to dump on my boob coin and pick up a fart buck and cum coin. Yeah. That was funny. They used to do that back in the day with the sock trading. You'd just be screaming bloody murder all over the place about what coin, what stocks they're trading, and how much. I do kind of like the way we do it now. It's quieter. Where we can do it at home, Charles Schwab and whatnot. That's nice. Let us teleport. Teleport, Mario. You know, for the fact that I like quiet and I live in a quiet place, I am kind of loud. Talking on YouTube and all that. Hope I don't bother anyone, you know? But I was told one time, don't worry about how loud you are living here, because more than half the people have gone deaf anyways. And besides, if anyone was really bothered, they knock on the wall, knock on the door, do something to say, hey, come on, knock it off, dude. Some dude or dudette would come to the door and say, wish you would turn off that loud music, my friend. Cut ties with all the noise that you've been making here. That's a good song. Yeah, let's just do some charging. So... You know, I know people don't really enjoy LPs these days, and that's basically what I make all the time is LPs, because I don't know, the editing process of making LPs is hard enough as it is for me, and so to look into editing shorts and whatnot is kind of, because I know shorts are more where it's at, to where they're more popular, they're more TikTok-y, they're happy, snappy, and it just isn't my thing. I like playing video games and just enjoying the act of playing video games and sharing that with people online as kind of a demonstration or a gameplay walkthrough or gameplay showcase. It's fun to share. I like these games. This game, despite haven't taken more than 2 years of my life now to LP, is kind of wearing on me, but still it's fun. And yeah, I'm doing a lot of side quest stuff, so it kind of gets bogged down a little bit more, so in the fact that I'm like, how much longer till I finish the story, you know? And I already know once I finish my Mana story, I go over to this other place. Oh crap, Gogan died. This other place where there's another tower. And then another desert area. For a rich, fertile world, this world of ArcGlad has a lot of deserts. Which, I guess, honestly, is kind of true to life, because even Earth, our world, has quite a few deserts. There's the largest, the Sahara Desert, of course. And there's the Desert of Death in Nevada and whatnot, around there, around the Grand Canyon in America. And there's the Gobi Desert over in Asia, where Mongolia and part of Russia and part of China is. And a little bit more towards the Caucasus. At least I think it's the Caucasus. You know, I know the Caucasus are a little bit on the edge of Europe and Russia and Asia. Not sure if, per se, how far the Caucasus stretch. You know, that way. Eastward, yes. Yeah, eastward. Of course, I also don't know how much the Gobi Desert stretches to the west. And I'm sorry, do I remember correctly, or is Gobi the local name for the local word for desert? Because I know Sahara is. Sahara is the local word for desert, so Sahara Desert is desert in English translation of the word Sahara. But other than that, please don't kill Gogo too. Let's see. Yeah, other similarities between ArcGlad 1 and 2 and Earth is like Syria is obviously Japan, at least in land shape, because it's an island nation that's kind of shaped crescent-like almost, but sort of more... Well, Syria is more Y-shaped in a fashion than crescent-shaped. Because you get to see the symbol for Syria on the Silver No all the time, and it's definitely Y-shaped. Oh yeah, I was also reading somewhere. Apparently it's a good thing I leveled up Kukuru so high in my game before this. Because I wasn't expecting to, but I am going to be using her later on in the game. At least once or twice. I didn't think about that before. I didn't think I was going to be using her during the second game here. But turns out Kukuru does get used in this game somewhere, somehow. I know in one section there is a part where you time travel. That's because you get given a time travel charm from somebody special and related to art. Of course, that's not for a while now. Ow. Yeah, if anything, I think that's for when we deal with the second to last tower. Or is it after the last tower? Because there are so many towers in this game, it's almost like Lufia. You know, Lufia 1 and 2, and sort of 3. Well, actually in 3, Legend Returns, there's just one tower for every Sinistral. Which I think they were planning on making it so that every Sinistral would have their own tower, but... Well, anyways, that kind of got used in a fashion by the Curse of the Sinistrals remake of Lufia 2, where every tower was actually, almost all 4 of them were for Sinistrals, each Sinistral. Because wasn't the main body of the Sinistrals the core inside those towers? It was kind of like the towers came alive and twisted and transformed into whatever the Sinistral wanted to be, and that's how you fought them finally to defeat them for the final time. Besides Deus may have been Doom Island himself. Because aren't there 4 towers in Curse of the Sinistrals? Oh, I don't know. It's been so long since I've successfully played that game. Last time I tried to play the game, I had a little trouble getting into it. It is honestly very hard for me nowadays to get into playing a DS game. The screen is so small. Even if I played on the 3DS, it's like, come on, this is 2025. We have TVs, we have bigger screens, we have... That's an idea I just had. We have ways to play on screens that are so effective and good for sight and seeing and perceiving. Like right now, I'm playing a PlayStation game on the TV, which is stupid to say, but because you've always been able to play PlayStation games on TVs, but like I have my GameCube and Game Boy player, you can play any Game Boy game you can fit into that Game Boy player on the TV because you're playing it through the Game Boy player. Why there's no DS version of a Game Boy player, I have no fucking idea. They're at least starting to make a Virtual Boy re-release, which I guess is a good thing. Though I don't... Is it what they're doing with the Virtual Boy is going to be on the Switch? Yeah, because it's going to be on the online feature, right? So it's going to be on the Switch, so you can play that even on your TV if you wanted to. But they're making this big to-do about the fact that you can play it on the Virtual Boy stand. Put your Switch into the Virtual Boy, into the front side of the Virtual Boy stand, and look through the... You can just lean over and look through the goggles of the Virtual Boy stand in order to play the Virtual Boy games again, the same way you used to when you were younger, back when the Virtual Boy first came out. Of course, I never played a Virtual Boy whatsoever. I never had one. I never wanted to get one. I never saw any games that were interested in it. In it. And I just didn't want to buy a Virtual Boy or anything. I have no want to buy a Virtual Boy. Hey Ruru, this seems like a cool spell. Seems more like a Iga's technique as opposed to being a spell area. You know, spell. So I think I might try to test out that spell for Choco. See how it looks. I'd love to see how it looks. And how many remasters have we gotten for DS and 3DS games? Have we gotten many? Or at all? Let's see, we've had... Bajin Kaitos, that's the original GameCube game. Chocobo's Everybody, Mr. Dungeon, that's a Wii game. Final Fantasy 1 through 10 and 12. Those are all TV games. You know, home console games. We have Donkey Kong games. All TV games. Well, actually, those are all new anyways in the first place. Let's try out this spell. I want to see how it looks. Even though it costs a lot, let's see how it looks. Huh. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. Kind of like Zoro's... what's it called? Dragon? I don't remember what Zoro's Twister... Oh. Dragon Twister is called, I think. I think it's called Dragon Twister. I don't know. Don't remember. Because typically Zoro from One Piece, his techniques are named after food items. Like onigiri and... Of course, I think they kind of let that go a long time ago with him calling his cannon move, you know, his projectile attack, the cannon, the certain pound cannon. It's interesting that he was able to 3-tier that cannon attack very quickly. Well, I guess it's not... That's sort of his thing, is the number 3. Which I guess makes sense that his friend and rival is Sanji, because San is 3 in Japanese. Because each ni san. Sanji was the third born of his family, and I guess that's why those 3 make up a monster trio. Because of the number 3. This is associated with all 3 of them. Because I think even Luffy, his bounties typically have the number 3 in them as a means of conveying that he is this certain number prediction sort of thing, because I think Japanese like to use, well, I think a lot of Asians, maybe, that's what I heard, like to use numbers as a means of fortune-telling and whatnot, for fortune-telling, and the way a lot of Americans and Chinese like to use zodiac and constellation stuff as a means of foretelling stuff and predicting outcomes and predicting personalities, or doing personality quizzes and tests and compatibility tests. You know, and actually Indians have their own kind of zodiac not constellation, but their own zodiac calendar. Because a lot of Indians, I think, run off the constellation of the Vedic calendar, which is the calendar that's updated sometimes, most of the time, I think, as a means of charting the stars in their most basic updated path in relation to us, in relation to each other. Because not every star, and not even Earth, is going to stay in the same spot all the time for all of time, but in relation to the constellations. And you know, they used to talk about how there's so much light pollution that we can no longer see the night sky as it was meant to be seen. Where it's supposed to be like the Starry Night picture painted by Van Gogh or somebody years ago. So we cannot even see all the swirlies and the purple and the clouds and just the whatever. That we cannot see all that anymore. We only barely see black and the stars. And so that's how much light pollution there is that we can barely even see the stars. Of course, there's also so much satellite pollution now, I think, that we can barely see the stars. We see all these glimmers of light, and when we see the glimmers of light, and we're like, oh, what a pretty star. Then we're like, oh no, those are moving. Those are satellites. Or some dumb thing like a reflection of something off some other thing, or I don't know. And so I'm just gonna use level 3 because I don't use any MP, and it should be stronger. I don't know if it is stronger or not, but it should be. I should test that sometime. I'm gonna test that right now. Is level 3 and level 1... Is there any difference in power between level 3 and 1? I'm gonna skip some turns and make sure to test that right now. Ooh, a cure-all. Whoop-de-doo-da-day. Let's heal our peoples. Wow, I've been going for almost half an hour. Hope you're enjoying the video. Now, let's see. Level 3 was like 89 or something, 87. Level 1 is going to be a total of 73. Okay. Unless that's the range of the spell, I don't know, but, you know, the damage range of the spell. But I think we have finally explored all the forks in the road of this dungeon. Use the forks, Luke. We have used the forks, conquered this dungeon, explored its depths, and gotten all the treasure from the sealed ruins, including the 2 power units for Deekbek, to hopefully improve his ability to be capable of helping us in battle and so forth. We carry on outside this dungeon, finally, in a means of conveyance of progressing our game by way of doing more side quests. Let's do some more side quests. Yeah, or, like I said, it's been a 30-minute long video. Let's cut it off now. Let's leave you here for now, everyone. Take care of yourselves until next time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and take care until next time. I need to get those backwards in my head. And have a good time until the next time I see you all. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.